Hero. Hero. What is a hero? What is a hero? Basic training, when they weren't supposed to cuss at us anymore, call us maggots and fuckheads and useless little bitches, types of things like that. They threw in the word hero as a curse word. If you were called hero in basic training, it meant you were a dumbass. What does that mean? They don't want us to die for a cause. They say, if you are stupid enough to die doing something stupid, then you're no good to us anymore. So a hero today, I award Ashley Babbitt the Hero Award. She died doing something stupid. They like to talk about how she was a military veteran, the Air Force. My dad always wanted me to, why didn't you join the Air Force? Because, well, the Air Force people generally don't die. They're not doing stupid shit. But I offer the Hero Award to her because she died doing stupid shit. There's some guy I saw talking, saying, yes, she was unarmed, you know, and in order to shoot somebody, you have to understand that they're coming after someone in particular, and she wasn't. Unarmed. Unarmed? If you've got that many people, even if they don't have weapons, and they're moving in after something, which she was, whether she knew it or not, she was part of a mindless bunch, the safety in numbers thing, like fish. There's so many of them. It's not like safety in numbers, you can protect the clan. The fact is, safety in numbers means if a shark's coming in and there's so many of you, there's a pretty good chance that the shark's gonna get somebody before they get you. And so in her own way, I suppose she is a hero, because if it hadn't been her, there would have been another person coming through. They would have been killed. She saved somebody's life that day. How many people's lives? Who knows? She offered herself up for that. Hero. And the idea, the fact that she was part of the military, I'm here to tell you, she isn't a hero just by being ex-military. Nobody is. Nobody is. I've said it before, I need to break it down. There are a bunch of useless fuckheads in the military, and I'm not counting myself out. Not counting myself out. Don't want you to sit here and think, what about you, stupid fucker? What I can tell you is they amp up the military so much, like it's such a big deal just because somebody was in the military. But they dumb down the military for the people that can't make it. And this is not against women, but I can tell you for a fact, when I was in airborne training, jump school, Fort Benning, Georgia, 1987, first of the 507th Airborne Training Bravo Company. With George Leake, graduation October 16th, 1987. The thing about that was the first 2 weeks, it's all exercise. Third week, you got what a week. Second week, you've got tower week where you get to drop from the tower. Ooh, Ungawa. We're gonna jump the free tower. Ooh, Ungawa. Very tall. And then the third week, we jumped. You did your 5 jumps to get your wings. But in those first 2 weeks, there was a lot of running, a lot of exercise. They're putting athletes through this thing. They're not just taking anybody. If you fell out of a run, you were out. You couldn't make the run, you're kicked out. That was the basic thing. Everybody knew it. I got deathly ill right there on my last day of the second week, tower week. And I was just like, oh, I was deathly ill. Went to the medic doctor guy, said, I don't know if I can do this. And he's like, you don't go, you're out. And I was like, I gotta get through it. And I did. I got through it. It was rough. I was collapsing. I was COVID sick there in 1987. But I did it because you have to see what you're capable of. They have to see what you're capable of. There was a captain in our run on one of those last days in the last week. Captain might be a little bit old to be going through airborne training, but, you know, look at Apocalypse Now. Colonel Kurtz was like 40 when he went through jump school, and people thought he was out of his mind. That's way too old to be doing that. But he did it. He showed his fucking metal. Yeah. Metal. Fuck with someone. 4 ways of saying metal. He showed his strength. But this captain that was there was one of those last runs, and we're running, and it's like, all of a sudden he's in the middle of the formation. I remember seeing it. He was up, and he started bouncing off people, and everybody's struggling. They're gonna fucking make it. There's no stopping me now. I gotta get through this. And he started bouncing off of people, and he was running. And the people up there, they just push him. Get away from me! You're gonna fuck him up. Get away from me! And they pushed him, and he went and he got pushed out of the formation, and he collapsed. Oh. Hero that was never appreciated, but I'm here to tell his story. Later that day, we found out he died. He got dehydrated, had a heart attack, and fucking died. He died trying to get through this thing, but he didn't make it. And here's the part where I say I don't mean to talk bad about women. It's not just the women, it's about the military, it's about the cadre, it's about the black hats, it's about the way they will push some people through and keep others out. Others have to follow the law. I would always notice the pretty girls hanging around the cadre, the black hats, our instructors, and they'd be around them, ooh, and I would watch these pretty girls falling out of runs, but they were still there the next day. I don't know if they were screwing the guys or what, but they had a different, they expected less of them. And that's actually a bigger insult than saying what I'm saying. They expected less. They didn't think they could do as much. So if they fall out, the rules don't apply to them, especially if they're good in the sack. But this is the point. This Ashley Babbitt, having made it through the military, they've got all kinds of useless fucks in the military that they just let pass. I don't know who she was screwing, if she was screwing anybody. But now, to call her a hero and to mourn her death, the only heroic act I can think of that comes to mind she might have pulled off was dying instead of the person behind her as she was climbing through the fucking window with a mob going, "We're gonna fucking get them. Let's tear this whole fucking government down. Tear down the boss." What happens when you tear down the boss? You get a new boss. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. You know, she did nothing but save the lives of other people that didn't care about how this nation was going to be. They didn't care. They were just doing what they were told. They didn't have any fucking plan. They didn't have any idea how to make things better. They were just there to tear shit up. Safety in numbers. Don't be such a hero next time. And there might be a next time. Don't just believe what we're told.